From Weak to Unstoppable: The Science of True Strength. The hidden fragility behind the mask of strength. Imagine this. On the outside, someone looks unshakable. They push harder, they grind longer, they smile through exhaustion. But inside, they're fragile, drained and haunted by the fear of not being enough. This is the silent fear that so many carry, the desperate attempt to appear strong, while feeling weaker than ever inside. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman reminds us of a crucial truth. Strength is not built in the gym. Sure, muscles respond to stress, but the nervous system decides how much stress you can carry without breaking. It's not about how much you lift. It's about how your brain interprets the weight of life. Your nervous system is like the central governor, deciding when you can push and when you must stop. And here's the trap. People confuse pushing harder with building resilience. They think endless grind equals strength. But in reality, that's draining your biology, leaving you more fragile than before. The irony is that the more you try to look strong, the weaker you actually become on the inside. Think of a sword forged in fire. If the fire burns too wild, the steel doesn't harden, it cracks. True strength isn't blind endurance. It's controlled stress. It's learning how to master the fire, not be consumed by it. That balance between fire and structure is what separates fragility from unshakable power. And the idol of endless hustle is a sham. Society glorifies exhaustion. People brag about sleepless nights, 16-hour workdays, and running on caffeine as if collapse equals strength. But neurobiology tells a different story. The truth is that glorifying hustle culture masks weakness. What looks like discipline is often desperation. When you live in hustle mode, your brain floods with cortisol. At first, it feels like energy. But then dopamine crashes, focus fragments, and your system rewires itself toward weakness. That's why burnout leaves people not just tired, but broken. The nervous system simply cannot function under constant siege. Think of high performers who collapse the moment their structure disappears. Athletes who retire and spiral. Entrepreneurs who sell their company and lose all drive. Why? Because their identity was built on exhaustion, not resilience. Their worth was measured by how much they could sacrifice, not by how much they could sustain. Endless hustle is a false idol. It doesn't make you stronger. It makes you hollow. Real strength is found in sustainable effort, not in self-destruction disguised as dedication. Does strength begin in stillness, not movement? It sounds counterintuitive, but the nervous system builds resilience in moments of stillness. True recovery is where strength is forged. Without stillness, motion becomes chaotic. Without silence, action loses meaning. Huberman speaks of non-sleep deep rest, NSDR. Think of it as a reset button for the brain. Just 20 minutes of deep rest can calm stress hormones, restore energy, and accelerate recovery better than scrolling through your phone ever could. This isn't laziness, it's science. It's strategy. Replace 20 minutes of distraction with 20 minutes of stillness, and you'll discover something radical. Stillness doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you. Stillness is not the opposite of action. It is the foundation of powerful action. Even oceans roar on the surface, but the deepest waters remain still. That's stillness. That's where true power hides. To become unshakable, you must learn to rest with the same intensity that you strive. Beware of the trap of external validation. Here's another weakness disguised as strength. Building yourself only to be seen, not to be free. Performing for approval. Pretending for applause. The mask may shine in public, but it crumbles in silence. Psychologists call it the halo effect. When others approve of us, we confuse their perception with our reality. But what happens when the lights go out? When the applause fades? When the crowd moves on to someone else? We've seen it in athletes who collapse after retirement. Their strength was never theirs. It belonged to the crowd. Once the applause stopped, so did their identity. The same happens in business, in relationships, even in friendships. Strength built for others always dissolves when they leave. True strength is proven when nobody is watching. Train as if there is no audience. Notice which habits survive when nobody's clapping. That's the strength that endures. The kind that can't be taken away. Pain as a teacher, not a punishment. Pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. The difference lies in how you frame it. You can see pain as a punishment, or you can see it as a classroom. Andrew Huberman's research on dopamine shows something fascinating. When the brain learns to associate discomfort with growth, it rewires resilience. Instead of shrinking from pain, you start expanding into it. Pain becomes less of a threat and more of a guide. Controlled exposure, cold showers, heat training, breath work, these aren't punishments. They're lessons. They teach your brain that discomfort doesn't equal danger. It equals growth. The nervous system adapts to challenge only when you allow yourself to face it intentionally. Remember this metaphor. The wound that doesn't kill you becomes the scar that makes you unbreakable. Every scar is proof that pain taught you something your comfort never could. Do you feel the need for a change of identity? Many people train their bodies but never train their identity, and that's why they stay weak. They lift more weight, run more miles, but deep down they still see themselves as fragile. Enter the Galatea effect. When you raise your own expectations of yourself, your performance rises to meet them. Identity drives behavior. Who you believe you are sets the ceiling, or the floor, for your growth. Practical shift. Stop journaling only about what you did. Start journaling about who you became. I didn't just run 5 miles. I became the type of person who keeps promises to myself. This subtle shift rewires identity at a deeper level than any training session. Strength is not built only in repetitions of action. It's built in repetitions of belief. If you never upgrade your self-image, your strength will always hit a ceiling. But if you believe differently, your entire nervous system learns to operate differently. The emotional weight of untapped potential. Do you feel it? Maybe the heaviest weight isn't the barbell. It's the weight of wasted potential. Regret weighs more than iron ever will, and most people silently carry that weight every day. Deep down, most people know they could be more, but they choose comfort over growth. The brain interprets new as a threat, so it keeps you in the cage. This is biology, not laziness, but biology can be trained. Here's the tool. Train your nervous system by facing small doses of unpredictability. Walk a different route. Speak up when you'd usually stay quiet. Do something slightly uncomfortable every day. Over time, your brain stops panicking at change and begins to welcome it. Think of the lion born in captivity. It sees the cage as safety, but the moment the gate opens, it realizes it was never weak. It just never tried freedom. Untapped potential isn't weakness. It's unused strength waiting for courage to release it. And how can we move from fragile to anti-fragile? Author Nassim Taleb introduced the concept of antifragility. Things that don't just survive stress, they grow from it. Unlike glass, which shatters, or metal, which bends, antifragile systems adapt and thrive with every challenge. Applied to neuroscience, this means you can train your brain to thrive under pressure. Huberman's research shows deliberate cycles of stress and recovery actually rewire the nervous system for adaptability. Stress becomes not just a test, but a training tool. Micro-stresses, fasting, breath holds, cold exposure, these are not weaknesses. They're rehearsals. Each one teaches your brain, I can handle this. And slowly, stress becomes your ally, not your enemy. You stop fearing the storm because you've trained in the rain. Avoiding pain makes you weaker. Leaning into it, with structure, makes you unstoppable. The shift from fragile to anti-fragile is the transformation from surviving life to dominating it. How is your inner strength? It can be revolutionary. Here's the truth. Strength isn't how loud you roar. It's how quietly you endure without breaking. True strength whispers. It doesn't need to scream to be real. Huberman reminds us, resilience is a skill, not a gift. It can be trained like a muscle. David Goggins echoes it. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. Strength isn't found at the peak. It's found at the floor you refuse to fall beneath. This is the silent revolution, shifting strength from appearance to essence. True strength isn't a wall, rigid, fragile, once cracked. It's a tree, flexible, deeply rooted, unshakable. Trees bend with the wind but never break. They grow deeper roots when storms rage. That's resilience. That's true power. And now it's your turn. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it silent. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs it. Then, watch the next video we've prepared for you. Because your journey to unstoppable strength doesn't end here. It's only just beginning. This is the revolution within you. This is the science of true strength.